Mesdames et messieurs, vous pouvez vous asseoir. Ladies and gentlemen, you can have your seats. Thank you. Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, vice presidents, honorable ministers, the President and Vice President of ECOWAS Commission, distinguished commissioners, members of our esteemed armed forces and security bodies, ambassadors, representatives of regional and international institutions, members of parliament, traditional and religious leaders, members of the diplomatic corps, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to the official launch of the 50th anniversary celebration of ECOWAS, which of course will announce activities marked for this 50th anniversary celebration. My name is Anita Erskine. Ladies and gentlemen, to start off, please do allow me or indulge me for just a few minutes to start by recognizing some of our VVIPs in our midst. Of course, we have His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. A round of applause for His Excellency. The former President of the Republic of Ghana is also with us, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. You're obviously welcome, sir. We are warmly joined by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Liberia, Joseph Numa Boakai. Thank you so much for joining us. The Vice President of the Republic of Gambia is also here with us, His Excellency Mohamed B.S. Jallow. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous présente le Premier ministre de la République togolaise, Madame Victoire Dobé Tomega. And of course, we have here representing His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Yusuf Maitama Tugar, who is also the Minister of Foreign Affairs and also serves as the Chair of the ECOWAS Council of Ministers. You're very welcome, sir. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous présente le représentant du Président de la République de la Côte d'Ivoire, Monsieur Aka Awela Eugène. And ladies and gentlemen, here we also have representing the President of República de Cabo Verde, Ambassador Cabo Verde in Abuja, Belamino Montero Silva. We have the representative of the President of Cabo Verde joining us as well. And last but not the least in this list, please allow me to obviously clearly welcome the President of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Omar Aliou Touré. You're very welcome, sir. Also flanked by the Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission, Her Excellency, Mrs. Damtian Chinjimbija. You're very welcome, Madam. Allow me to also borrow a few seconds to acknowledge our traditional leaders, His Royal Majesty King Takiteko Churu II, Ga Manche of President of the Ga Council, you're welcome, sir, and King Odaifo Welenchi III, Nungwa Manche, and President of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, you're very welcome. We also would like to say a big welcome to our heads of ECOWAS institutions, our honorable commissioners, and we are flanked by the ministers of foreign affairs, finance and trade from our member states. Ladies and gentlemen, with all these acknowledgements, it's now time for us to have the official welcome. Mesdames et messieurs, j'ai l'honneur d'inviter sur scène l'honorable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, ministre des Affaires étrangères et l'intégration régionale de la République du Ghana, pour prononcer le discours de bienvenue. Ladies and gentlemen, here to officially welcome you, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration of the Republic of Ghana.
Your Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana and our Chief Host, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS member states, Your Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former President of the Republic of Ghana, Your Excellency, representatives of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, Your Excellencies, Prime Ministers, Vice Presidents, and Presidential Representatives, Your Excellency Dr. Omar Aliu Toure, President of the ECOWAS Commission, Your Excellency Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Tuga, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chair of the Council of Ministers, Excellencies, Ministers of Foreign Affairs, Ministers of Finance of member states here in present, members of the Council of State of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Ministers of State, the First Deputy Speaker of Parliament representing the Right Honorable Alban S.K. Bagbin, leadership of Parliament, members of Parliament, Chair and members of the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament, Excellencies of the Commissioners of ECOWAS, Excellencies, resident representatives of ECOWAS in the various member states, the Government Chair, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps in Ghana, distinguished representatives of the African Union, esteemed representatives of the United Nations, Nime, Nananom, Togbeo, friends from the media, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the government, chiefs and people of Ghana, I welcome you all to Accra, the vibrant and beautiful capital of Ghana, for this historic occasion to mark the official launch of the 50th anniversary celebrations of the Economic Community of West African States. It has always been of profound honor and a deep sense of commitment to our collective struggles for the total political and economic liberation as African people anytime Ghana is called upon to host such significant Pan-African events. Since Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah convened the first All-African People's Conference here in Accra from December 8 to 13, 1958, which in many ways served as the ultimate inspiration for continental African unity. Accra has long been considered a preferred consequential meeting point for the attainment of our integration objectives. And if I may dare add, the first All-Africa People's Conference formed the philosophical foundation for regional blocs. For it was at that conference, here in Accra, that a steering committee representing the various regions of Africa was elected. Ghana is internally honored and grateful to host this historic launch and to set the tone for year-long celebrations that will unfold across the sub-region. And let me say on a lighter note that I take note that big brother Nigeria is here. And as I tout the credentials of Ghana, the usual rivalry will begin. But even though they are big in economy and in population, they know we are older. Ghana is older than them. We became independent in 1957, and they learned from us 3 years after, became independent in 1960. So allow Ghana to blow its horn and tout its Pan-African credentials. It's all in good spirit. Your Excellencies, today we gather not only as representatives of our various nations, but as proud custodians of a shared history, a common destiny, and a regional identity that has grown stronger over the last 5 decades. It was on 28 May 1975 that visionary leaders of West Africa came together in Lagos, Nigeria, to sign the Treaty of Lagos, giving birth to ECOWAS, an ambitious, people-centered regional bloc founded on the principles of unity, solidarity, cooperation, and economic integration. Your Excellencies, 50 years on, we have every reason to celebrate. ECOWAS has evolved from a modest economic cooperation framework into a dynamic, multifaceted regional community, championing not only economic integration, but also peace, security, democracy, and social development. From promoting intra-regional trade and cross-border infrastructure projects to deploying peacekeeping missions in moments of crisis and facilitating the free movement of our people, ECOWAS has made remarkable strides in advancing the collective aspirations of West Africans. This 50th anniversary milestone offers us an opportunity to reflect on the challenges we have overcome, the progress we have made, and the sacrifices of those who envisioned a united, prosperous, and peaceful West Africa. It is also a time to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to the ideals upon which this community was founded. As we launch these celebrations today, let us look forward together. The next chapter of ECOWAS must build on the foundations of the past, while boldly embracing the future. We must consolidate our gains in peace and security, deepen economic and political integration, and foster inclusive growth that benefits every citizen of this sub-region. Your Excellencies, as chair of Ghana's ECOWAS at 50 Planning Committee, kindly permit me to express boundless gratitude to all colleagues and partners who worked tirelessly to make this event a success. I should highlight the impressive sacrifices of the Ghanaian private sector, particularly media organizations who rendered services gratis. Your full sponsorship of this launch is a loud affirmation of your continuous belief in the ECOWAS vision. I will be remiss if I do not acknowledge the ECOWAS Planning Committee, led by ECOWAS Commission Vice President, Her Excellency Damtien Chichenbija, for their remarkable contributions and exceptional team spirit. We remain indebted to the team, and certainly indebted to the Deputy Chief of Staff, the Honorable Stan Dogbe, and his very industrious team of event planners. Your Excellency, for those who might be wondering how this grand launch fits into President Mahamat's exemplary leadership of austerity, may I place on record that funding for the ECOWAS at 50 launch has been a shared responsibility. Financing this launch and the two-day Extraordinary Council of Ministers meeting scheduled to take place right after the launch has been almost entirely paid for by ECOWAS member states. The Ghanaian taxpayer, therefore, has not been saddled with the entire cost of this event. Your Excellencies, we invite all member states, institutions, partners, and the people of West Africa to participate actively, to share our common stories, to chart together the path towards a stronger, more resilient, more united ECOWAS, and to keep the ECOWAS and African unity dream alive. As Osajefo Kwame Nkrumah reminds us, if we in Africa can achieve the example of a continent knit together in common policy and common purpose, we shall have made the finest possible contribution to that peace for which all men and women thirst today, and which will lift once and forever the deepening shadow of global destruction from mankind. Once again, Your Excellencies, on behalf of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, the government and chiefs and people of the Republic of Ghana, I extend warmest welcome to all of you, our distinguished guests. May our deliberations and celebrations in the coming months inspire renewed hope, solidarity, and ambition for West Africa and the entire African continent. As we say in Ghana, Akwaba, Wezo, welcome. I thank you very much.
Mesdames et Messieurs, veuillez accueillir Son Excellence Dr. Omar Aliou Touré, président de la Commission de la CEDEAO, pour son discours officiel. Ladies and gentlemen, please warmly welcome His Excellency, the President of the ECOWAS Commission, for his official address, Dr. Omar Aliou Touré.
Your Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, President and Head of State of the Republic of Ghana, Excellency President Joseph Boakai, President and Head of State of Liberia, Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, former President of the Republic of Ghana, His Royal Highness the Gamanche and other traditional leaders of Ghana, Excellency the Prime Minister of the Republic of Togo, Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, Your Excellency Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Tuga, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chair of the ECOWAS Council, Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ghana, members of Ghana State Council, Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, members of the ECOWAS Council, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and members of the Ghana Parliament, the Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission, heads of ECOWAS institutions, and honorable commissioners, the representative of the President of UEMOA and of the President of IBID, Director General of WAMA, Special Envoy on Counter-Terrorism, Ambassador Baba Kamara, resident representatives of ECOWAS, staff of ECOWAS institutions, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and a privilege to address you in this historic city of Accra as we gather to launch the ECOWAS Golden Jubilee commemoration. On behalf of the management and staff of ECOWAS institutions, I would like to thank His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President and Head of State of the Republic of Ghana, the government and the people of Ghana for hosting this historic event. No doubt, Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah would have been proud to see Ghana and Ghanaians hosting the launch of the 50th anniversary of ECOWAS, a pillar of the African unity that Dr. Nkrumah worked for, lived for, and died for. I salute their Excellencies, Presidents, Heads of State, the traditional leaders, Vice Presidents and Prime Ministers, as well as the honorable ministers and ambassadors who have taken time from their busy schedule to join us here today. We thank you for your commitment to the integration and the prosperity of our people. I would like to pay special tribute to His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, former President of Ghana, for his leadership not only of Ghana, but also of ECOWAS during very trying times. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this event is the beginning of a string of activities that will take place in each member state of ECOWAS as a way of giving concrete expression to the ideal of ECOWAS of the people. In marking the 50th anniversary, our objective is to celebrate, reflect, and recalibrate our community. In the current context, many would be forgiven for asking if there is anything about ECOWAS that should be celebrated. Our response to such cynicism is an emphatic yes, and I have my reasons. First, ECOWAS is the most integrated community in Africa. In a recent interview, Alhaji Aliko Dangote lamented that he required visa for over 30 African countries. If an entrepreneur of Dangote's caliber can go through such hassle, can you imagine what ordinary people go through to travel within the continent? Thank God no ECOWAS member state is among the countries that require Mr. Dangote to have a visa. This is because ECOWAS has adopted a free movement protocol that gives each ECOWAS citizen the right to visa-free movement, the right to residence, and the right to establishment across the region. These freedoms make the ECOWAS community the most integrated regional economic community on the continent. This, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, is a good reason to celebrate. Two, ECOWAS has an effective trade liberalization scheme. The ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme is ECOWAS's preferential trade arrangement. Since the inception of the trade liberalization scheme, more than 15,000 companies have been registered under the scheme and benefit from the preferential treatment within ECOWAS for more than 50,000 products. The Interconnected System for the Management of Goods in Transit, SIGMAT, has been launched to connect national customs offices in the ECOWAS region to facilitate the regional transit trade and increase the pace and ease of international trade. The system is now fully operational in 7 countries. These two, Excellency, together with the common external tariff, is a good reason to celebrate. 3, ECOWAS has a promising regional energy and infrastructure programs. The community has developed a 25-year master plan which comprises 201 regional projects covering all member states. These have been estimated to cost about $131 billion. The 4 key sectors covered are transport, energy, telecommunication, and water resources. Within this context, Excellencies, key infrastructure projects have been launched. These include the Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway, as well as the Abidjan-Praia Corridor Highway, and several secondary corridors and joint border posts. The 1,028-kilometer Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway is one of the largest economic corridors on the continent. About $42 million has been successfully mobilized to finance the technical preparatory studies of the project. The feasibility and preliminary design studies, which have been completed, show a significant investment cost of nearly $15 billion, with an average economic rate of return of 15%. The corridor, the Abidjan-Lagos corridor, Excellencies, is now ready for investors. In the same vein, preparations are underway for the development of the Abidjan-Praia corridor that will consist of a maritime and shipping line from Praia in Cape Verde to Dakar in Senegal, and a 6-lane highway from Dakar in Senegal to Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire, going through Banjul, Bissau, Freetown, and Monrovia. The technical and preparatory studies for this project have commenced and are expected to be completed shortly. In addition to these major corridors, other corridors include the Nigeria-Cameroon Highway and Transport Facilitation Program, the Mano River Multinational Highway and Transport Facilitation Project. All these initiatives are a source of hope, and so are the joint border posts that seek to limit the duplication of procedures and paperwork at border crossings. In the energy sector, ECOWAS and international partners have embarked upon several generation and interconnection projects within the region. These include electrification projects in the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, and Mali through the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Access Project, ECOREAP. Similarly, electricity interconnection has been established with all 14 continental countries of the region. It is hoped that the completion of the Information and Coordination Center of the West African Power Pool will enable member states to buy and sell electricity within the region. In this regard, the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Sector Regulatory Authority, ERIRA, has been established here in Ghana with a mandate to regulate cross-border electricity exchange among ECOWAS member states. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, these efforts are being complemented by the Regional Off-Grid Electricity Access Project, launched by the ECOWAS Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, ECRE. The project, that has an estimated cost of $340 million, seeks to facilitate access to off-grid electricity for households, businesses, and public institutions. Excellencies, ECOWAS has solid socio-economic development programs. I can go on to cite several such programs, such as the regional initiative, such as the West African Regional Digital Integration, regional regulatory frameworks on roaming, ECOWAS competition and investment regimes, ECOWAS intervention through WAHO, the West African Health Organization, on Ebola, on COVID, on Mpox, as well as the initiatives in the area of education, including vocational education. We can also cite the regional food reserves and humanitarian initiatives, the ECOWAS Rice Offensive, and climate-smart agricultural projects. All these programs and initiatives give us hope, and therefore constitute a reason to celebrate. But Excellencies, nothing is worth celebrating more than ECOWAS's role in peace and security in the region. Here, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Côte d'Ivoire, the Gambia, and Guinea-Bissau come to mind. It was the valiant ECOWAS peacekeepers and several rounds of peace talks that brought peace to Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Côte d'Ivoire. And it was ECOWAS that ensured that the will of the people of the Gambia prevailed in 2016. These are accomplishments worth celebrating, and so are efforts geared towards the fight against organized crime, including piracy. The establishment of the maritime security zones in the region and the strong partnerships built around maritime security have contributed to the decline in the incidences of piracy in our region, with 0 piracy incident recorded in 2024. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the celebrations of ECOWAS 50th anniversary must go hand in hand with reflections with a view to recalibration. One area that requires reflection is the low level of intra-community trade. Despite being a customs union, intra-community trade within ECOWAS stands at 12%. This is considerably low compared to the European Union and ASEAN countries. To resolve this, we must continue to address the infrastructure and energy deficit as well as non-tariff barriers. But most significantly, we must address supply-side constraints by raising productivity in our communities and in our economies. To raise productivity, we must be able to attract investment both from within and from outside the region. Our market of 400 million people is a potential magnet to investors. This, once again, underlines the importance of regional integration, as few meaningful investors are attracted by the small size of our individual domestic markets. We must also invest in peace and security. The terrorist menace that constitute a key driver of insecurity in the region knows no borders. This makes security collaboration within the region imperative. In this regard, I would like to salute efforts being deployed by His Excellency President Mahama, President Faure Gnassingbé, President Bassirou Diomaye Faye, and indeed the chair of ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, aimed at bringing about reconciliation and fostering collaboration between ECOWAS and the countries that belong to the Alliance for Sahelian State. Despite the challenges, I remain optimistic that we will see the gains of regional integration for our people who are united by blood. Long live ECOWAS, long live West Africa, long live Africa. Thank you for
Ladies and gentlemen, we're Omar Aliou Touré, President of the Commission of ECOWAS, or ECOWAS Commission, and before that we also heard from the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, Minister of Foreign Affairs. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate 50 years, we are celebrating the past, but I also would like to doff my hat to the organizing committee for more or less anticipating a wonderful, vibrant, and ambitious future for the continent of Africa by inviting some young and our midst. Ladies and gentlemen, I humbly ask you to give a round of applause to the representatives of our educational system here. West Africa Senior High School, you're very welcome. Accra Girls Senior High School, you're very welcome. St. Mary's Senior High School, you're very welcome. And the ever popular Presec High School, you are welcome. Please, another round of applause for the future of Africa. I can see some of you who went to those schools are smiling. Thank you so much for joining us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Her Excellency Bianca Ojukwu, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Nigeria, here representing the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, will now make a statement on his behalf in his capacity as Chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. Mesdames et messieurs, je voudrais inviter sur scène Son Excellence Bianca Ojukwu, représentante du Président Bola Tinubu de Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please warmly welcome her.
Your Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana, and our dear host, heads of state and government here present, the President of the ECOWAS Commission, members of ECOWAS Council of Ministers, honorable ministers, and other senior government officials of the Republic of Ghana, commissioners and heads of ECOWAS institutions, representatives of regional and international organizations, members of the diplomatic corps, traditional rulers here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. These are the remarks by His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, at this official launch of the ECOWAS Golden Jubilee in Accra, Ghana. I quote, "With a profound sense of fraternity and solidarity, I stand before you today in the beautiful city of Accra to celebrate the official launch of the ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States Golden Jubilee. ECOWAS was a bold vision created by our founding fathers on May 28, 1975. We have seen that vision crystallize. Hence, we celebrate 5 decades of progress, unity, and resilience, and rekindle the flame of solidarity that has guided our region through triumphs and trials. My heartfelt congratulations go to my dear brother, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, whose visionary leadership, unwavering dedication, and steadfast commitment to regional integration and development ideals have been a source of inspiration and strength. Under your stewardship, Your Excellency, Ghana remains a beacon of democratic governance, economic progress, and regional solidarity. Your efforts in championing the upliftment of our dear region through diplomacy, collaboration, and tireless transformative policies deserve our most profound appreciation and admiration. Similarly, I commend the tireless efforts and unwavering dedication of the ECOWAS Commission staff. Their professionalism, commitment, and collaborative spirit have been instrumental in making this day a resounding success. 5 decades later, from 15 nations envisioned regional economic integration, cooperation, and shared prosperity. From the ashes of colonialism and the turbulence of post-independence struggles, they forged ECOWAS, a beacon of hope for our people. Their dream was not merely to dissolve borders, but to build bridges of trade, cultural exchange, and mutual progress. From the original Treaty of Lagos in 1975 to this momentous gathering here in Accra, ECOWAS has remained a pillar of integration and a beacon of hope for over 400 million citizens across our region. Remarkably, our journey over the past 5 decades has not been without challenges. We have faced political instability, economic hardship, infrastructural deficits, and security threats, but we remain undaunted. We shall not relent in our commitment to a united, peaceful, purposeful, and prosperous West Africa. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, today we celebrate numerous remarkable achievements that distinguish ECOWAS as the most successful regional economic community on the African continent. We have established one of Africa's most vibrant free trade areas in 5 decades, fostering intra-regional commerce and lifting millions from poverty. We have championed peace through ECOMOG's valiant efforts, mediating conflicts in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and the Gambia. We have introduced the ECOWAS passport, symbolizing our commitment to free movement. We have also advanced democratic norms, standing firm against tyranny and supporting transitions to constitutional governance. However, the journey towards a truly united and prosperous region is far from over. We must confront the hard truths of our present reality. Despite our shared vision, too many of our citizens still live in poverty. Too many of our children lack access to quality education. And too many of our youth remain unemployed, disillusioned, or forced to seek opportunities abroad. Our region continues to grapple with new and evolving threats: violent extremism, climate change, and food insecurity. The wave of unconstitutional changes in our region seriously threatens the democratic gains we have painstakingly built. As the current chair of ECOWAS, I reaffirm Nigeria's unwavering commitment to the fundamental principles that bind us: democracy, the rule of law, good governance, and regional solidarity. These are not just ideals, they are the foundations for peace, development, and the dignity of our people. In this new chapter, we must reimagine ECOWAS as not just a community of states, but a community of people. We must place our young, dynamic, creative, and resilient people at the center of our agenda. We must invest in education, innovation, and skills development to unleash the full potential of Africa's future. We must seek to expand the frontiers of democracy, and we must limit the forays of unconstitutional rule into the democratic space. We must always seek peace towards achieving the collaborations needed for development. We must also deepen our economic cooperation, support intra-regional trade, and ensure that the African continental free trade area becomes a vehicle for genuine transformation. A prosperous West Africa is good for Africa and the world. In deepening our integration, we must accelerate the realization of a single currency and strengthen infrastructure corridors to connect markets and minds. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let us use this Jubilee as a moment of renewal. Let us rededicate ourselves to the spirit of Pan-Africanism that inspired our founders let us build an ECOWAS that is more resilient, more inclusive, and more responsive to the needs of our people. This moment calls for a renewed commitment to fostering unity and solidarity among member states. It is a time to strengthen the bonds that tie us together through shared values, collective responsibility, and a common vision for a prosperous region. In hopes of reconciliation and reintegration, we must remain open and willing to engage in sustained, constructive dialogue with our estranged brothers, those member states currently outside our fold. At the same time, there is an urgent need to implement bold, comprehensive reforms that will enhance our institutions' effectiveness, relevance, and credibility to meet the challenges of today and the future. By embracing these imperatives, the organization can better respond to its people's evolving needs and advance sustainable development, stability, and prosperity across the region. In conclusion, let me remind you of a Nigerian proverb that says, "A tree does not stand alone in the forest." Our strength lies in our unity. As a proud member, Nigeria pledges to collaborate with every nation, large or small, to build an ECOWAS that is resilient to confront the challenges of our time. May the next 50 years be etched in history as an era when West Africa rose, united, prosperous, and unstoppable. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Bianca Ojukwu. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we launch the 50th anniversary of our ECOWAS community, we must hasten to remind ourselves that the peoples of these lands have a history that goes far beyond the 50 years. Now, our Honorable Foreign Minister, in the spirit of cultural diplomacy, is pleased to present to you a special highlight performance of our launch, featuring the Mansa World, which is taking Africa's rich historical stories global through epic productions in a project endorsed by UNESCO. Now, ladies and gentlemen, their debut theatrical epic, Mansa Musa and the Trail of Lost Gold, has been touring the world to critical acclaim. Proudly created by Ghanaian poet and playwright Chief Moman, and performed by what you can see now, known as Bamboo Heritage. It is with honor, gratitude, joy, pride, a lot of ECOWASism, they may call it, that I present to you the Mansa World in a special act titled Reclaiming Our Destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ECOWAS at 50.
We harvest tears from laughter's eyes, how we even sow some joy in sorrow's deepest soul. We are dancer and the dance. In the space between the drums in ours, you will feel unfold the endless saga of ancestral time. We are dancer and the dance. There is a journey we all must make into our past in order to come to terms with our future.
Strengthen our ECOWAS community. We must look beyond our boundaries and come together in our ancestral bond. Today we shall invoke the memory of our ancestors. We invoke the memory of Dinga Sise of the Ghana Empire, Wagadu. The memory of the Marijata, the Lion King who defeated Sususumanguru and forged a great Mali nation.
Shaking
from the sea, once mountain peak has toppled into glory.
On the Hajj from Mali to Mecca with the greatest caravan of about 60,000. Golden glory of the morning God, we shine above the world. With a golden caravan, praise kings and royals, with a royal procession. Kriya, 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 Askia Muhammad, who's conquered Songhai and forged Songhai.
Askia Muhammadu Kagoladamu Achiki Masoya Kasadamu.
Askiyamadu akuladamu achiki masoya kasadamu. Askiyamadu akuladamu achiki masoya kasadamu.
Of all these great empires emerged our West African countries.
États-Unis. Une patrie, j'ai la primandaire, se trouva chez les Wallaf. Une partie de l'Amérique aussi, se trouva dans le Ghana. Une patrie, j'ai la pris sous-sous, se trouva dans la primandaire. Une patrie, j'ai la primandaire, se trouva sur le Goussi. So protégé, mama, 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 Africa, Africa. Ils ont partagé les morts, priant des méthodes, priant des méthodes, priant des méthodes. Ils ont partagé les morts, priant des méthodes, priant des méthodes, priant des méthodes.
Today, we explore our shared history to build our community, and we ask ourselves the question: what do you tell the people who cradled humanity's birth and civilization? Who once stood tall in pride, confident in self, invincible in will, but now crouching in the wilderness of despair. You tell them to remember who they were, what they lost, how they lost. You tell them to reclaim their lost glory. The clues are written in ancient hieroglyphics. They must find the Piperi floating in the Nile and the Euphrates. They must journey to the mystic cities of Kush, Kemet, and Askum, through the ivory cities of Mogadishu, Mombasa, Zanzibar, through the stone walls of great Zimbabwe. They must journey through the golden empires of Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. They must find the sacred scrolls buried in the libraries of Timbuktu. You must inspire in them a will to reclaim their destiny. Wakati umefika. Rise, children of the land, rise. You who have given so much of yourself to the world, you who have had so much of yourself snatched by the world, but yet you who still have so much of you that still remains. Rise, children of the land, rise to reclaim your glory. And what do we tell the leaders? Don't fail. President Mahama, don't fail. President Bwaki, don't fail. To every single African leader here, don't fail. To every single West African leader across our community, don't fail. Because the youth are hungry for inspiration. They do not want to continue to travel across the impossible Sahara in search of the greener pastures beyond the Mediterranean. They want to make it right here in their own motherlands. And so, from every single youth across every single country of West Africa, our message today is simple. To all of us, leaders and people, chiefs and politicians, bankers and artists and doctors and artisans, all of us in West Africa, don't fail! Ladies and gentlemen, just as how these West African lands sprouted some of the greatest empires of the ancient world, we believe that from West Africa could come and will come some of the greatest nations of our modern world if we all come together to work for our inspiration. This has been a Mansa World experience.
Ghana, Mali, Songhai, these are empires of old, of glories to be told, and lessons to behold. Time has come to be bold, time to find the lost gold. Food for the mind and soul.
Food for the mind and soul. Food for the mind and soul. Up, up,
Mansa Musa, Mansa Musa, Sundia Taketa, Mansa, Mansa Musa, Mansa, Suman Gugu.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the Mansa World. The Mansa World, beautifully and aptly called Reclaiming Our Destiny. ECOWAS at 50. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, if you would like to see more of the Mansa World, you may take a glimpse at it in any of the major cities around the world. As I mentioned before, it has been traveling the world to critical acclaim. The color, the beauty, the merger of the cultures across West Africa, and indeed, ultimately, across Africa is to be applauded one more time. Chief Mormon and the Mansa World. And now, ladies and gentlemen, just before we go to the next part of our program today, I would like to highlight that kindly after this gathering, we humbly ask you all to remain seated while His Excellency and, of course, the VVIP party take leave of us. So at the time when we are done with our unveil, please, ladies and gentlemen, with humility and respect, I kindly ask you to remain seated while they exit the building. And now, it is my distinct honor to invite to the podium the host of our gathering today. At the helm of this beautiful country we call the Republic of Ghana, inviting you all to this cosmopolitan city of Accra. Ladies and gentlemen, with humility, respect, I ask you to be upstanding while I invite to his podium His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the President of the ECOWAS Commission, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Liberia, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Gambia, revered former President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, representative of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Nigeria, Her Excellency the Prime Minister of Togo, the Honorable Minority Leader representing the Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, our traditional authorities, our Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and let me stand on established protocol. It is with great pride and honor that I welcome you all to Accra for the launch of the 50th anniversary celebration of the Economic Community of West African States. Today is not just a celebration, it is a solemn moment of reflection on our collective journey and an invitation to renew our commitment to the principles that have bound us together for half a century in unity, peace, regional integration, and above all, diplomacy as our guiding compass. Your Excellency, ECOWAS was born out of a spirit of bold diplomatic engagement in 1975. Our founding fathers, faced with fragmented economies and fragile political landscapes, chose the path of cooperation over competition and rivalry. Their vision was clear. It was one to pursue our development not as isolated nations, but as a united community. Since then, ECOWAS has grown to become a key diplomatic and political force in Africa. Through consistent engagement, dialogue, and mediation, our community has earned a reputation as a trusted arbiter in conflict prevention and resolution.
whether it has been in restoring peace in Liberia and Sierra Leone, in guiding the Gambia through a difficult political transition, or preventing electoral crisis in Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, ECOWAS has proven that African solutions through African diplomacy can and do work. We must not take this legacy lightly. It is one we must protect. It is one we must deepen and refine in the face of new and emerging challenges. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, today our region is faced with a complex array of threats: violent extremism, growing insecurity in the Sahel, political instability, economic disparities, and climate vulnerabilities. In moments like these, diplomacy and solidarity must remain our first and strongest line of defense. The recent decision by Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger to withdraw from ECOWAS is a regrettable development. Yet, even in this, continuous engagement must remain our lodestar. We must respond not with isolation or recrimination, but with understanding, dialogue, and a willingness to listen and to engage. Since assuming office as president, I've prioritized diplomatic re-engagement with our Sahelian neighbors. Ghana has appointed a special envoy to initiate high-level conversations with the Alliance of Sahel States. I've personally led missions to foster trust, rebuild communication channels, and affirm our shared aspirations. These efforts reflect our belief that we have a shared destiny as a sub-region, and that unity, however difficult, remains the best path to shared prosperity and regional stability. Ghana stands ready to serve as the bridge to help reknit the fabric of West African unity. We believe that through sustained dialogue, patient diplomacy, and principled negotiation, we can restore cohesion and rebuild trust in our community. This period, ladies and gentlemen, calls for even greater solidarity and understanding for the difficult challenges that confront our brothers in the Sahelian states. Diplomacy is not only about resolving disputes, it's about creating the conditions for peace, for inclusion and progress. It is about fostering mutual respect and advancing our common interests. In this regard, our commitment to integration through diplomacy must extend to economic, social, and cultural dimensions, whether we are harmonizing trade negotiations, whether we are facilitating free movement of our people, or championing education and health cooperation. Our diplomatic instruments must always work in the service of our people. We must empower ECOWAS institutions to act swiftly, credibly, and transparently. Our citizens must feel that ECOWAS is not some distant bureaucracy, but a living community that understands their struggles and champions their hopes. And let us never forget the power of soft diplomacy. Our shared languages, our music, our literature, and youth culture. These are powerful tools that bind us together more deeply than any treaty can. And I wish to commend the young people who gave that wonderful performance here. Distinguished guests, let this 50th anniversary be a turning point for diplomacy in West Africa. Let us invest more in early warning systems, mediation capacities, and youth and women as peace builders. Let us position our sub-region, ECOWAS, not only as a political and economic bloc, but as a diplomatic anchor for the continent, a model of integration, dialogue, and peaceful coexistence. To mark this moment and strengthen regional bonds, Ghana is offering 1,000 scholarships to tertiary students from across the ECOWAS sub-region to study in our universities. This is not just a gesture, it is an act of solidarity. It is a bridge to a future where our young people will grow up seeing each other not as foreigners, but as partners. Excellencies, as we look to the next 50 years, let unity and solidarity Leaders, let that be our guide on how we respond to insecurity, how we manage our diversity, and how we build our prosperity together. ECOWAS must remain a forum for listening. It must be a space for healing, a home for visionary African-led solidarity and diplomacy. Ghana reaffirms its unwavering commitment to the ECOWAS vision and to the values of dialogue, peace, and partnership that sustain it. Long live ECOWAS, long live West African solidarity, and I thank you for your kind attention. May I now invite the President of Liberia, the Prime Minister of Togo, the Vice President of Gambia, special envoys of heads of state, representatives of heads of state present, the former President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and the ECOWAS Commission President to join us in the unveiling of the logo for the ECOWAS 50th anniversary celebration. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. And as our VIPs are getting on stage, may I now please invite Her Excellency Mrs. Damtien Tchimtipija, who will describe the 50th anniversary logo and the theme. Ladies and gentlemen, she is the Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission, Damtien Tchimtipija.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to stand on existing protocols in order to address you today. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity in order to thank the young women and men who have just presented us with a beautiful performance, a performance that represents us as community citizens. I am truly honored today to briefly present to you the logo of the ECOWAS at 50 and the theme of our Golden Jubilee. The radiating lines emanating from the central emblem evokes a sense of celebration, achievement, and the widespread impact of ECOWAS across the region. They represent rays of progress, unity, spreading outwards, or simply celebratory bursts. The use of gold or warm yellow color often symbolizes a golden anniversary, an achievement, and a prestige. It adds a celebratory and festive feel. The circle itself represents unity, completeness, and the continuous nature of growth within the ECOWAS bloc. The ECOWAS at 50 logo is designed to show not only achievements, but continuity and forward momentum within our community. The logo blends the existing ECOWAS identity with celebratory elements to mark the significant 50-year milestone, our Golden Jubilee. The theme of the celebration is Stronger Together for a Brighter Future. The theme highlights the power of unity, regional cooperation, and shared commitment among ECOWAS member states as the foundation for building a prosperous, peaceful, and sustainable future for the people of West Africa. It also reflects the belief that working together allows the region to face challenges more effectively and achieve greater progress than any country could do on its own. The theme is both a reminder that regional unity is not just a political ideal, it is a practical necessity for building a peaceful, prosperous, and inclusive West Africa. The 50th anniversary is not just a slogan, it is a vision, a promise, a commitment, It reminds us that despite our linguistic, cultural, and historical differences, West African countries continue to share a common identity. And as long as we stand together in unity and solidarity, we will be able to shape a brighter future for present and future generations to come. I thank you for your kind attention. Muito obrigado. Je vous remercie de votre aimable attention.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. The 50th anniversary in all its glory. Applause for ECOWAS at 50. And now, I would like to ask our heads of state and our special guests to remain on stage while I invite the ministers here present who are representing their various presidents. Please join us on stage for our family photo. All the ministers here duly representing their presidents, the presidents of the member states, please join us on stage as we take our family photo. Photographers, please. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause as we're celebrating ECOWAS at 50. Looking forward to a series of events that will take us from now to the next year. As His Excellency the President and his guests take center stage, another round of applause as we have unveiled ECOWAS at 50. This is a momentous occasion for us together, and it is a great moment to be part of ECOWAS, a great moment to be African, and indeed, to be here at 50 is to plan for 50 more. Another round of applause while His Excellency and our guests take their seats. Thank you very much to our media fraternity, our media friends. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, please take your seats. Thank you. Thank you very much. Kindly take your seats. Our media men, please give way for our special guests to reclaim their seats. To close off our program this afternoon, I would like to now call on the Ghana Dance Ensemble to wrap up the joyous occasion, which is the 50th anniversary launch of the ECOWAS Commission. Ghana Dance Ensemble.
Kumba, kumba, Hiya! Kumba, 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 Goyayango, goyanga. Goyayango, goyanga. Goyayango, goyanga. Goyayango, goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Hey! Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana Dance Ensemble.
Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo.
Thank you so much, Ghana Dance Ensemble. Thank you.
Goyayango. Oh yeah, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango.
Another round of applause for Ghana Dance Ensemble.
Goyayango, yo, goyayango. 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 Oh yeah, goyayango.
Thank you, thank you,
Oh
thank you.
yeah, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango. Goyayango, yo, goyayango.
Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the launch of the 50th anniversary of ECOWAS Commission, the end of the launch, but the beginning of a series of events that I pray we will hold with pride close to our hearts. And now, if I may kindly ask that you be upstanding while we take in the anthem of ECOWAS, which will be followed by a supreme performance by Ghana's beautiful velvet-voiced Adina Tembi. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, if we could be upstanding for the anthem of ECOWAS performed by the Ghana Armed Forces.
True humility, make us cherish fearless honesty, and help us to resist oppressors and my forevermore, and help us to resist oppressors with all our will.
Thank you, Adina Tembi. Thank you very much, Ghana Armed Forces. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will remain standing while His Excellency and his guests and his party will take leave of us. Another round of applause for our special guests of honor joining us here today in Accra. Ladies and gentlemen, with humility, please remain in place while His Excellency and his party take leave of us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we may now proceed to the lobby. Thank you very much. My name is Anita Erskine. God bless you, God bless West Africa, and God bless Africa. Bye-bye.
Years ago, on 28 May 1975, a bold vision came to life. The dream of a united, integrated, and prosperous West Africa became a reality as leaders of 15 West African countries gathered in Lagos, Nigeria to lay the foundation of a regional organization with the capacity to address the economic, socio-political, and security challenges facing the region. On that historic day, ECOWAS was born. Over the past 5 decades, ECOWAS has remained resilient, steadfast, and committed to the ideals set forth by its founding fathers, promoting democracy, peace, security, good governance. Key achievements over the years include advancing intra-regional trade through the implementation of the Common External Tariff, spearheading regional infrastructure projects, including transnational road corridors connecting member states' capitals, establishing a regional electricity market, and progressing towards a single regional currency, supporting member countries in combating epidemics, strengthening healthcare systems, and improving food security, investing in human capital development, promoting gender equality, empowering youth, and fostering culture and tourism, providing humanitarian support to vulnerable populations during crises and disasters, and supporting democratic processes and regional stability through
All right, thank you so much for joining us for that live coverage of the 50th anniversary celebration launch of the ECOWAS community of West African countries right here in Ghana, hosted by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who officially launched the celebration and, of course, activities outlined for this particular celebration. The official launch, however, was followed by the declaration of the theme for the Golden Jubilee celebration and, of course, the unveiling of the 50th anniversary celebration logo. ECOWAS is 50 years. A number of activities lined up for the celebration. Just ended is the official launch of those activities to mark the celebration, 50th anniversary Golden Jubilee celebration of ECOWAS. The President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has extended an invitation to the Alliance of Sahel countries. That's Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. And so we're looking to see what comes out of it. But following this particular launch, ECOWAS will be meeting. That's the Conference of Heads of ECOWAS states, led by the Nigerian president, or the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you for staying with us. We'll be giving you updates in our subsequent programming here on Channel 1 Television. My name is Nanatufo Boateng. Keep watching Channel 1 TV.
Hi, friend. Where are we going today?
Just use your imagination.
Go, go, go!
My family is the only thing that matters to me right now.
This is the stuff that Monique dreamed about.
These guys are the best.
GoTV's ready to take you from your hometown to roaring stadiums and even on international adventures. So let's go together, from home or on the go with GoTV Stream.
Sounds like a great idea.
GoTV. Love it.
Caravan 2025 is here. The day we've all been waiting for. Well, if you were one of the lucky ones. And it's happening, people. I couldn't sleep a single wink last night. I was too busy wondering if I was going to miss the bus. But here we are.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you're ready.
It's 5 a.m. and the final setup is in full swing. The sponsors are getting everything ready. The buses are all lined up. And guess what? Our amazing patrons are already arriving. How exciting is that?
Don't forget you are welcome home, welcome home. Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. All will be happy and gay.
Let's talk about the first thing on our to-do list, registration.
I mean, I didn't know you. Yes, I also did. Okay. So it's okay. So when it's time for registration, you should find it. Her name is.
All will be happy and gay. You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home. Come with me on this happy trip.
When you sign up, you'll get a super cool colored lanyard. Yes, you too. Your luggage gets one too, for easy identification. Here's how it goes. Bus 1, orange. Bus 2, green. Bus 3, purple. Trust me, these lanyards are going to make everything so easy peasy. And during registration, don't forget that patrons will also receive some fantastic goodies from our incredible sponsors. So you'll be all set for the journey ahead.
not one law.
Thank you, sir.
A lot of them have been on the trip several times, so they are familiar with everything. Now, they lead us. They are the ones who lead us because of the knowledge of the terrain. But there are some places when we get to, the police will take over for their own security reasons, and we'll have that understanding. We are not going on a safari ride. So we know. I know that you go there, you know your way proper. We'll move at the same pace that we've been moving, and as you can see, there are a lot of adults on there, and then some people want to stop every now and then. At times it's uncomfortable because some of the places are not that safe, but they insist, and so that's why we have our people here. So over here, we don't have a boss. We are all working. So let's work like that. Don't go back to the office, they'll go and do boss. Let's work like that. Let's have a good understanding. And then I'm sure that will give them a good experience.
After a couple of quick announcements, we all grab a delicious breakfast because, hey, we've got to fuel up. And then a drum roll, it's time to hop on the bus. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Everybody in this life. Dance about the music.
first stop, as you know, is Accra. A good number of you were born in Accra, but I can assure you that you know nothing about Accra. You probably understand metropolitan Accra, but traditional Accra is still in the history books. So we'll spend maybe 1.5 hours trying to tell you about Accra. So that'll be our first stop. My name is Samuel Atamensa, and I am the Managing Director for the organization. I'm here with some of my managers. I'll introduce them to you quickly. Mr. Bernard Avle is the General Manager and the host of so many programs on TV and radio. And then we have Mrs. Vivian Kailoko, Head of News, Current Affairs and everything in between. Vivian. And then we have Mrs. Apioko Seirap Ashon Abi. She runs the programs outfits of the organization. So everything you see on TV is coming from, and she's a poet, proper one. Yeah. And then we have Miss Victoria Dogbe. Victoria is head of technical production, and so everything you see, the processing of it, video, still pictures, everything will go through her. And let me say that she works very hard. If you see any nice picture of yourself on social media or videos of yourself on social media, please thank me. If it's bad, go and attack her. That's Victoria for you. Now, for the Heritage Caravan project. Oh, please, we have to leave, people. Hang on. We have 7 days to do this, so we can be on time. The Heritage Caravan project is a project that actually drags everybody into the space. It actually puts our everything on hold for like a month, 2 months. It's led by 2 of our managers. There's an operational person and then there's a business person. The business person also doubles up as a chief in the Equiapim area. But he's also a chairman. He's plenty things. He's Sakura, but Charlie Oni Capre. He's Mr. Omani Mensambos. But Omani is not here. For those of you who have been on Caravan before, Omani, he's always ahead of us. So as we speak, he's organizing things in Accra, which will be our first stop. So we'll meet him there. But he wouldn't need any introduction because of the shape of the head. You understand? So when you see him, please let him know. And then the operational person who is in charge is Miss Frima Edunyame. As for the let's go there. Okay, so quick one. I know you have gone through the itinerary, but for emphasis, we leave here straight to Ho. That's from Accra to Ho. From Ho, we move through the Eastern Corridor. A lot of you have not seen or experienced the Eastern Corridor. The closest you have come to is what the politicians say about the Eastern Corridor. There indeed is a corridor. So we use it from Ho straight to Yendi. Sit with the that's from Accra to Ho. From Ho, we move through the Eastern Corridor. A lot of you have not seen or experienced the politicians say about Yendi. Now, we as much as possible to avoid traveling at night. For which reason, every day we'll be on your case to wake up early so we can set off. As for night travel, we don't like it. So between Yendi and Bolga, it's a straight one. We move, I think 2.5 to 3 hours. We are there. Sleep in Bolga, have our experiences, go to Paga and all the places. And then we come back to Tamale. Tamale, we go through Mole to Sunyani. Sunyani to Kumasi, spend some time there. From Kumasi, we move straight to the Western region. Western region, we come back to Central region, and on our way back to Accra. It's going to be a wonderful experience. I can assure you, we are going to meet new people, new experiences, a new network of friends, and more importantly, creating new families.
Our dear Lord, we thank you for another opportunity for Heritage Caravan 2025. Thank you for the 180 people you've brought together in these buses. We ask for grace. Please go ahead of us. Make the crooked places straight. Let the darkness turn to light. Bring us back safely and give us a testimony. This we ask through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. More fire, more fire, more fire, more fire, more fire.
And just like that, the 2025 Heritage Caravan Adventure officially begins.
Makes you feel so happy. Dance about the music. Dance about the music. Music makes you happy. Music makes you happy. Dance about the music. Dance about the music. Makes you feel so happy. Makes you feel so happy. Dance about the music. Dance about the music. Music makes you happy. Music makes you happy. Dance about the music. Dance about the music. Makes you feel so happy. Makes you feel so happy. Dance about the music. Dance about the music. Music makes you happy. Makes you feel so happy. Dance about the music. Dance, dance, dance. Makes you feel so happy. Makes you feel so
Kaja Israel, Kaba Egypt, Kaja Ethiopia, Kaja Sudan, Waja Shong. Kaja Ikushima, you know. So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're showing. Machetaki, you know Sumanguru, you know what where they get, what you're showing. What's that to do, you know? Ramna, you know, Yasan, you know what you're showing. Get your Israel, Kabaiki, get Ethiopia, get Sudan, what you're showing. Abaka, Badimo, one year, I for Kalacha, I catch my 1 year, and in your thing. Abaka, Badimo, 1 year, I for Kalacha, I catch my 1 year, and in your thing. I'm a Gamian man, I'm a Gamian.
Ago. Ago. My name is Ni. And when you come to Accra, the names that we use is Ni and Na. Ni is a title of a king and Na is a title of a queen mother. So my original name is Ni Pakpo from the Dutch area, Sempe. We do have so many historical things here. We have the fishing community. Also, we have a fort known as Fort James, used as a slave activities after they stopped the slavery, became a prison. And first Prime Minister of Ghana, Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, he was being jailed there in a year, 1956 and come out 1957. So inside the fort, we have a slave marketing, female prison and a male prison all inside.
It's okay. Yeah. So where we are now was the slave dungeon. And then inside here is where the slaves were passing through underground to the fort. And then from here to the fort takes them 2.5 hours before getting to the fort. Because they walk slowly. They have changed their neck, their arms, their leg, so they walk slowly. And a white person died. They have their cemetery nearby, which is going to be buried very nicely. And then also, the reason why we have this underground tunnel, during slavery, some of the parents were part of the slavery. They sell their own children, so they don't want people to see. That's why everything is underground. So this place is known as only strongest survive. If you are not a strong person, you died on the way. You can see we are already sweating. Even the heat capacity here kills the slaves on the way going.
Let's not assuming this. We just arrived here. I would like experience the heat. A lot of slaves died here. And then you can see there's a wall over there. This wall was recently blocked because when it rains, water comes in here. So people in our community here do fetch water from here. When it is rainy season time, May, June, July, people come in here and then get a clean water. That's a raining water. Because when people hear about history and then something history about this building, it makes people very sad and very mad. So this time around, we do fetch water from this dungeon. And it was built in 1633 as well. Yeah. We just arrived. You experience how you are sweaty, right? A lot of slave died here. Wow. A lot of slaves. We are thrown away. Come again. You are thrown away. Yeah. When the slave died in here, there's a town called Vulture Town. Vulture Town is a town whereby black slave body were thrown there, and then the vultures eat the flesh of the black slave.
Oh, so was there a link from here to this?
Yes, please. Yeah. That wall over there was recently blocked. It takes them from here to the British fort, from the British fort to the point of no return. So we're gonna walk forward towards the British fort, and then you see where this tunnel leads them to.
Oh, wow, wow.
The heat here is unbearable.
Ghana Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're showing. What you're what you're showing. So Timbuktu, Ghana Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're showing. Machetaki, you know Sumanguru.
Also, where we have the best boxers from this community. So we have the boxing gyms around here known as House of Pain. No pain, no gain. Great boxers in Ghana train here. So famous boxers train here. And also we have go home or go out or go home. Best boxers in Ghana train here. So for now, we started off from the tunnel known as the strongest survive. When you are not strong, you never survive.
So Timbuktu, Ghana Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're showing. What you're showing. So Timbuktu, Ghana Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're showing. Machetaki, you know Sumanguru, you know what you're what you're showing. What's that to do, you know? I'm not saying, you know. Yes, and you know what you're showing. Get your Israel, Kabbalah, get your Ethiopia, get Sudan, what you're showing. I walk about you know what you're for, Karavan. I get you one year, and then I'm fake. I walk about you know what you're for, Karavan. I get you one year, and then I'm fake. I'm a Kenyan Matu. I'm a guy on young Motu. I'm a guy on young Watumo.
I told you this is the oldest part of Accra. This is Jamestown. And this part known as the Vultures Town. That is why the king of Vulture Town lives here. He controls the whole community. That is why the walls has been drawn with vulture. So the king of Vulture Town lives here, who control the whole community here. Please. So this is one of the border between British and the Dutch. So when you walk all this side, you are in Jamestown. When you walk all this side, you are in Dutch town. So we are going to walk on the border between British and the Dutch.
As you can see, we've told the slave story here in Accra. Centuries ago, the white man came under the guise of friendship, under the guise of trade, and instead they enslaved our ancestors and took them away from us to work on their plantations in the US, in the Americas, and elsewhere. We're going to continue the slave story. This is Heritage Caravan 2025.
Go! So we are standing on the boundary between the Dutch and the British. From here up to the long monument over there on our back. That's end of Jamestown. Jamestown ends up over there. So when you walk this way, this is Dutch, which known as Sempe. And then when you walk this way, it's British, which known as Odododiodo. And I spoke to you earlier on that a lot of Ghanaian slaves were slaves that picked from here to Brazil in Salvador Bahia. Most of them returned back in 1830s and settled in the Dutch area. So when we talk about Portuguese language, a lot of Ghanaian people speak good Portuguese. Portuguese words like krata, pano, spatre, and etc. These are all Portuguese languages. And then names like Azuma, Nelson, Nutrot, these are all Portuguese names over here. And then moreover too, when you can see the first post office that built by the British slave masters. The first post office that built by the British slave masters.
Them say me no fit jump, them say you no fit jump, them say we no fit jump. Them say me no fit jump, them say you no fit jump, them say we no go fit jump. I'm a girl when you're what my boy na cha I catch my work I want. Kaya jeng sa ni mama. Na gbe wa you know. Kaya jeng sa ni mama. Badi pete ku you know. Kaya jeng sa mama. Umre kwedu. Kaya jeng sa ni mama. Umre kwedu. Kaya jeng sa ni mama. Sumin de ura pa. Kaya jeng sa mama. Kaya jeng sa ni mama. Kinya bibi you know. Kaya jeng sa ni mama. What you do what you need. Kaya jeng sa mama. Kaya jeng sa ni mama. Tu na me baba yo.
Yeah, Nabahalia, Malila Chotoma, and Ling Hasubekasi. Kahasi Doma, Abeche Another Mombesia, Abloya Kirigire, Abloya Kirigire, Abloya Kirigire, Abloya Kirigire, Abloya Kirigire. Abloya kirikira, oh, male, male, male. cantona.
Here's a top trend on TikTok that's supposed to be good for your health. Dopamine dressing. Bright fabrics, colourful jewellery, outlandish outfits. So what's it all about? Activating happiness hormones. But does dopamine dressing really boost your mood? Well, it certainly won't do any harm to try it out. But with a lot of advice darting around the internet, it's hard to tell. Is something helpful? Pointless? Dangerous? Take nicotine pouches. Some say they increase energy and alertness. Time to take a closer look on In Good Shape.
Snooze, nicotine pouches containing tobacco are in, especially among young people.
Snooze.
Snooze. That's what you put in your teeth, down here.
Zack, zack. In die Zähne rein.
The tobacco industry says they can help smokers quit cigarettes. But experts warn the reality is often different. We're increasingly seeing people at our outpatient clinic who don't even smoke, but who have a severe nicotine addiction as a result of nicotine pouches. Tobias is a college student in his late 20s. Nicotine pouches are part of his everyday life. It's under my lip now, touching my gums. Nicotine enters the body via the mucous membranes in the mouth. Tobias says the buzz he gets helps him concentrate better in exam situations. For instance, when things get stressful when taking tests and you can't leave the room for 2 hours. One advantage is that it doesn't affect your lungs, so your stamina doesn't suffer. Using snooze to improve performance? Social media is awash with the idea. Even rappers are rhyming about it. Addiction specialist Tobias Rüther from the LMU Tobacco Outpatient Clinic in Munich is concerned. Original snus contain powdered tobacco leaves, but there are also tobacco-free pouches with a high nicotine content. There's a new phenomenon in which young people suddenly have a product to which they are addicted. They're no longer able to choose whether to consume it or not. And of all known substances, whether legal or illegal, nicotine is almost the hardest to quit. It's comparable to alcohol or heroin, and that worries me. The advantage over cigarettes is that snus does not produce the carcinogenic substances that are formed when tobacco is burned, but that does not make them healthy. It does slightly increase blood pressure, cause a bit of diabetes, a bit of sugar problems, and it can cause a bit of cardiac arrhythmia. What's quickly evident is that it causes ulcerations or inflammation of the oral cavities, and we sometimes see tooth loss. Snus is often a gateway to nicotine addiction, but some people use it to get off of tobacco.
To try and stop smoking cigarettes. I feel that it's better for my lungs. I don't know what it's going to do to my teeth, but we'll find out at a later date.
But many people do it for fun, including Tobias's friends. He himself uses snus and still smokes.